glad that I am on this side and here with you all today. I'm going to ask that you start a watch party. I'm going to ask that you share. I'm going to ask that you invite your friends, invite your folks, and tell them to come on because God and everything is on the air. And y'all know we get hot topics. We got to talk about what everybody else is talking about. But we also want to let you all know that the month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we will have special guests all of this month. We will have those whom God has healed and of breast cancer, and they will talk about and give you their testimonies about how God healed them, the stress, the struggle, the pain of it all. We also will have guests talking about domestic violence. We just got some surprises for you in the month of October. So, welcome and thank you. And again, please share today's God and everything. And y'all know I can't do it by myself. I could if I would, but I can't, so I ain't. I do it with my Rolly. I do it with my girl. I do it with my pastor friend. Hey, Pastor Gail, how you doing, girl?
Girl, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's my time of the year now. Fall. The leaves falling, a little chill in the air. I love it.
Yeah, I'm a fall girl too. You know, I used to
Yeah.
didn't be. And I had a job where once a month I had to travel to Columbus. And during the fall, I'm watching these leaves change
Yes.
colors and all of that. And that's when I fell in love with fall. Because I
Yes.
was like, to me, leaves on the ground was you got to rake.
Right.
You know, I didn't have any brothers.
Right.
And my father, you know, he was wearing the mighty suits.
Right.
He
Oh
wasn't
no.
raking grass.
Mm-mm.
So raking leaves. And so, and he was wearing gaiters. He wasn't wearing,
No.
okay, we was
I
raking the
remember
leaves.
father.
Okay, so you know, the fall was not my time of the year until I saw the beauty of God in it.
Yes.
And it became it because I am
Yes.
a nature person. I love everything that is God. I was
I know
talking to
that's
him the
right.
other day. I said to him, I was driving in my car. I said, my issue, and this is my own conversation with God. I said, my issue is never with your power. I know you can do anything. You can do everything.
Yeah.
I said, you can cause grass to grow on cement.
I
You
know
can
that's
do
right.
anything.
I know it.
I said, but my issue I'm having is, will you do it?
And when you win you.
And we for
Right.
real. And I hope
Right.
that helps somebody out there because he
Yes.
is not void of
Yes.
power. Is will he do it,
Yes.
and when will
And
he
when
do
will you
it?
do it?
And so that was
Exactly.
just my own conversation about some
Exactly.
own personal issues that I am facing. You know, folk think because you sit behind a microphone that you are a public figure. Y'all see me put quote
Okay.
up,
Okay. I got you.
quotation marks up, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have difficulties and you don't have struggles and you don't have fears and you don't deal with unbelief and you don't deal with being disappointed and you know all the things that come to everybody. You know the Bible said about
Right.
Elijah, he was a man of like passion, but
Like
he
passion.
prayed.
Yes.
Okay, so he was a human being and he had some struggles, but he was a man of prayer and of power. So we have to understand that folk are not superhuman, that
Thank
they
you.
are human. And
Thank you.
so as a song says, take all of your needs to God in prayer.
Absolutely.
You know, and so that is what we are commanded in the scripture to do, and that's the only thing I know to do.
Right.
I was telling I said this to the Lord, and then I also said it to my sister. I said, we as human beings, we can plant a seed.
Yeah.
We as human beings in America can get some water and water it.
No, that's good.
But honey, it is only God that can cause things to
Only
grow.
God. Only
He is
God.
the only one that can make it
Exactly.
happen. For
Exactly.
you, for me, for Lottie Dottie,
And
and
air.
everybody.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
that's my 2 cents on that. But we're going to get right into um, the hot topic today,
Okay.
which is the young man that was killed in his own. I just want everybody to understand this was his own house,
His own house.
Gotham Gene.
Yeah.
And it is a very, very sad situation overall.
Yes.
Here's my thing, and preferably y'all to stay with me and y'all won't turn off all the channels and everything because for real, because I'm getting ready to hit it like only I know how.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with that. Um, the excuses that was made for her killing this man in his home. Listen, if she would have said, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I should not have pulled the trigger. I was confused. I was overwhelmed in the sexting. They know now she was, sending text messages, and they were sexting back and forth with a police officer that she was having a relationship with. And I was just, so involved and so engulfed in this that I drove on the wrong floor. I opened the door to the apartment. It appeared to open. I came in. I saw a big black man, and I shot him. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm wrong. I am wrong. I am wrong. That's one thing. Here's my problem. And this is when it went all the way left for me.
Okay.
When you start lying.
Yeah.
When you said that the man, you entered to this apartment and he got up and he came for you and you were terrified for your life. You were afraid for your life. I am so sick of I was afraid for my life.
Right.
Baloney. I want to say so much more, but I'm on the air and I don't want nobody to think that the prophetess ain't saved.
Right.
I'm sick of that.
Right.
Because they're using that like you use cover your mouth when you cough.
Right.
Sneeze into your arm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
And you're fearful for your life from somebody who is unarmed. I get fearful when somebody got a weapon. I get fearful. I don't care if they got a bat, they got a safety, not a safety pen, a writing pen, a pencil. That can be used as a weapon.
Right.
If it is lodged in the
Right.
right place, it can take you out of here. But this man, this young man, this saved brother who led praise and worshiped, who loved God, who was an accountant, who was doing everything right, was sitting in the sanctuary of his own home on his couch, watching TV, eating a bowl of ice cream. He could have been doing whatever he wanted to do in the privacy of his own home. And he was intruded upon.
Right.
She was an intruder. She was
Right.
not a police officer.
Right.
She was an intruder. Please understand that. I have issues, Pastor Gail, anytime we have a conversation and we only want to talk about the symptoms.
Yes.
We want to talk about the cough.
Right.
We want to talk about the sneezes.
Right.
We want to talk about the fever. We want to talk about the chills. But we don't want to talk about the flu.
Right. Right.
The flu is the cause.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the cause.
Yes.
We have a horrible system.
Absolutely.
We have a system that was put in place with people of color not in mind at all. Mm-hmm. It was put in place for Caucasian people. That is the truth. Period. Dot. Y'all get mad. Y'all turn the channel. I don't care. That's the truth. And because they assumed that slavery would be forever.
Forever. Yeah.
I must pause and see like that. They assumed
Right.
that slavery would be forever.
Right.
And because of the abolishment of slavery, now we got to figure out how to live with these people that we tormented and abused. So we have to put laws in place
Yes.
that have a range where we can have leniency based on the color of the skin.
Yeah.
That is what we are looking at, and that is what we are dealing with every day in America. I don't want to have a conversation about the symptoms. I'm not having a conversation about the symptoms. I'm saying peace to you.
Right.
I'm giving you two fingers, peace, and not one. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. We are going to have a conversation about the issue, about the root of the problem.
The disease. Yes.
There you go. Which is racism and injustice and inequality against people of color. If we cannot have that conversation, then I'm not having a conversation.
I understand.
Period.
Exactly.
Period. So we gonna keep praying, because I'm gonna keep praying. I ain't never stopping doing that.
Exactly.
But please understand this. America, please understand that the God of the entire earth, he is going to do what is right.
Right.
He is going to do what
That's
is
all
right.
he knows to do. That's all he knows to do.
He is going to do what is right. And so the whole dynamics change when she said that he got up and lunged at her. And the professional doctor, coroner, examiner said he wasn't even standing straight up. He was getting up in the up position because she startled him.
Right.
Like, who coming in my house?
Right.
And he
Exactly.
gets up, and you don't say, stop, hold it, wait a minute, what are you doing here? You just shoot this man.
Yes.
And then you don't give him any aid. You don't give him any CPR. You don't do any of that.
Yes.
And then all of the corruption began. His mother said it today, or yesterday in her news cast. She said it. She talked about the corruption in Dallas in the police department, with the Rangers, with the city officials, with everybody. She said the contamination of the crime scene. All of these people went into a mode of trying to clean her up and cover her, when in all actuality she should have been exposed because she did a crime.
Exactly.
Now we get a guilty verdict. Everybody that is African was not coming down for her. And so she got 10 years with the possibility of parole in 5. And what was so inappropriate to me, y'all could throw the tomatoes if you want to. I don't care. I do have a shield of faith up. Was so inappropriate to me was the judge hugging her. I asked a question to somebody to post this morning, and I said, I wonder how many black women have been convicted in that same court with that same judge and was sentenced that she hugged.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
For lesser crimes.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Right.
If you are not safe in your own home, then where are you safe?
Exactly.
And so we have an issue at hand. And then, and we know we got an issue, and they keep sweeping it under the rug, and it's not going anywhere. It's getting progressively worse, y'all, and it's going to continue to get progressively worse because it is a fact that black lives don't matter. And black people, black lives don't matter to you either. See, y'all don't want to have that conversation either.
Right.
See, that's a conversation that I'm having, whether you want to have it or not. See, until black lives matter to you, it won't matter to nobody else.
Absolutely.
They are treating you racist people, and I'm not saying the whole Caucasian racist. I am not saying that. That's the precursor. So don't get me there. But we know that we live in a racist society. That at the bedrock of America is racism.
Absolutely.
And there are racist offsprings because of that. That is a fact. Those that are saved and those that are not. I'm gonna say it again. Mm-hmm. Those that are saved, believers, love Jesus, accept Him as their as their Lord and Savior.
Yes.
We have some racist people that name the name of Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And if we don't do something about it, and it's not just in prayer, we cannot fix what we refuse to face. And so the judge hugged her, the judge gave her a Bible. And his younger brother told her that he forgave him and forgave her and all of that. And he asked the judge, could he hug her? And he hugged her. And I'm telling you, it has sent social media in a frenzy.
Yes.
You have believers, talking about the forgiveness versus not forgiving and all of that. First of all, we gonna stick with the word. Let's just stick with the Bible.
Yes.
First of all, this situation wasn't about, and I put a post up, this was not about grace, and it was about accountability, not grace. She has to be held accountable for what she did. Listen, God forgives us all, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Jesus said, if we don't forgive men their trespasses against us, that God cannot. And there's nothing that God cannot do. But if you don't forgive, God cannot forgive you.
Exactly.
So forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is more for the individual than it is for the person, because you have to release those people. So I applaud this young man for forgiving her in that way and forgiving her that, in that manner, because he could have wrote her a letter.
Yes.
He could have came to visit her in jail, but he did it in an open forum publicly for us all to see. And then we got the side of believers and non-believers, African American people saying, they do anything to us and then they expect us to forgive them. And that's just the truth. It is. But forgiveness is still right. It's still
right.
God.
It's still right.
It's still absolutely God's will, period, dot. I don't care who does it to who. But what we have to do as a people is acknowledge our error and our issues in our own community. And if we would stand up and stop killing one another and start respecting each other and start supporting each other and start being unified, then can't nothing tear that down.
Absolutely.
We have to respect our own lives if we want other people to respect our lives. I'm not giving anybody a pass at all. I ain't that one.
Right.
You do the crime, you do the time. That's Lottie Dottie and everybody. If God extends his mercy, thank him. If he doesn't, then you go on and walk that thing out. That's just the truth of the matter. But we as a people, it is time for us to come together as a people. And I ain't even talking about folk that don't know Jesus. If the church folk, if the white church and the black church will come together, and I feel God on this, can I get a black church and a white church to come together and start having a couple of services? If you don't do it but once a month.
Right. Right.
If you don't do it but once a month, let's get little storefront over here with 12 people to come over here with little storefront on the west side with 22 people. Because though y'all act like it ain't no storefronts on the other side of town with less than 25 people, because it is.
It is.
And let us come together and let the world see us merge.
Yes.
And then true healing can begin. All of this putting band-aids on bullet wounds is over for me. If we are not going to talk about the root of the problem, I'm not having a conversation with anybody. Yes. I'm going to watch Family Feud. Because this whole thing is a mess. This man has lost his life. Yes. This mother and this family no longer has this wonderful man. All because someone was preoccupied, so they say, and came into a house and killed an innocent, unarmed man. And what's so sad about this whole thing is that initially they was trying to find dirt on the man who was sitting in his own house.
Exactly.
You making the victim be victimized. And we keep doing it when it's people of color. And then here's my issue, Pastor Gail. I'm going to tell y'all the man's name, because y'all already know I got my T's crossed and my I's dotted.
Yes.
The young man, I got a couple of things. Let's get to him. The young man, his name was, I'm gonna tell y'all, he got 45 years in jail for killing a dog.
Yes.
Judge Gio Rangos stacked the sentence for Rush. His last name was Rush. And he gave him 45 years. I think it was 33 years for killing the dog and then 12 years for the burglary. Right. 45 years for killing a dog.
Yes.
I need everybody to hear me and to feel this thing. You get 33 years for killing a dog that does not have a soul.
Exactly.
A brute beast.
Right.
That can't think, can't function. He is not human. You get 33 years for killing an animal. An animal that is not a human being. And you get 10 years for murdering an unarmed civilian in his own house. I got to say this. This one I went left with the judge.
Yeah.
I really hope, I'm just telling y'all this on me, this is my opinion, and I have the right to have one. I hope she's coming up for election so they can vote her out of there. And not because she hugged Amber, not because she hugged her. It is because she told the jury that they can consider the castle law. You know what the castle law is, Pastor Gail?
Please
The
explain it.
castle law is to stand your ground right in your castle, in your own home. That if somebody is invading and intruding your own home, you have the right to defend yourself. And if you kill them, you can evoke the castle law because my home is my what?
Castle. Yes.
This woman told the jury that they could consider the castle law for her. For her. I need y'all to let that sink in. That is the most ridiculous thing, one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard.
And it sways the mind of the jury.
Absolutely.
You have, to me, people have to understand we don't get to be this age without noticing things, without knowing the nuances of people, without noticing various things. And I happened to turn on as they were in the sentencing mode and as the judge was up from her bench and her posture. Now, in the law, as judges and as lawyers and all of this, they are taught to study movement. Mm-hmm. They're taught to study. Judge Judy will tell you in a minute. If you don't believe me, watch Judge Judy. Watch about 3 episodes.
And with Judge Judy, what would Judge Judy do?
Oh, listen.
Okay.
Judge Judy, listen.
Ain't doing none of that.
Right. First of all, she wants to see your eyes. She'll tell you. She had an argument the other day. My husband had on, but somebody was sweating in the courtroom, and she said, "Ain't nobody else sweating? So and so in it. The audience ain't sweating. I'm not sweating up here." But there are things that give you away in your posture. Now, the people say, well, we can't judge. Listen, stop that. Stop
Please,
that.
because that ain't what the Bible says.
The saints gonna judge the world.
Come on.
If I got listen, I was saying this to Roz the other day. I said, Roz, the scripture became so alive to me. The spirit of the man knows the man, but the spirit of God gives us the ways of God.
Yes.
Where is the spirit of God in the earth? In me, in
Right.
you. So when I look into people, when I look into the spirit of God reveals things.
Yes.
Now, we as a people, we knew that the way up and out of much of our oppression was through education, through legislation, through, elevation, all of that. And thank God for our sister that has done that. But I'm sure you have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
When you step out from the pack, you are a representative of the culture from which you came, the backs of those who laid themselves down, and we riding on their backs to this new freedom and to these new opportunities.
Yes.
And when we let them down,
yes,
we ought to feel a great burden.
Yes, we should.
We ought to feel great shame. I felt let down.
Yeah.
As a people, I felt let down. Am I trying to garner hate? No.
Absolutely
I heard
not.
somebody say, well, we're just going to take it as a victory. If you put small or large in front of it, it's still a victory. Okay, so we did get some semblance of a victory. But we have to be careful. And I say this to you all that are being put in positions and that are going after positions, mayors, council people, legislatures, Congress, Senate, all of you. When you go into these positions, you are carrying not only your own experience with you, not only your own background, but you're carrying the responsibility of people and all people, but especially if you are a part of a people that have had no voice.
Yes.
Then
Come on
we
here.
are expecting you to speak for us.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, now let's come apart from the culture part of it. Let's come apart from the ethnicity part of it. There is also a faction out there that as soon as they hear things like, he was a worship leader, he loved God, he was faithful to the Lord, it causes the hair on the back of their neck to stand up. It causes them to bristle because it's the spirit of Satan.
Yes.
Because we don't have a God-friendly culture.
No.
And so who are we to say that, wow, that was our delight? We are out there advocated for our brother who died too soon. Somebody else
That's
who
right.
may be very involved politically,
Come on.
who may be very educated,
Yep.
who may be in the position to judge or to be jury.
Mm-hmm.
They had an aversion to the fact that this man was a Christian.
Yes. Yeah.
This world, I'm going to go back to the old folks, this world is not our home.
It is not our
It is
home.
not our home. It's not our friend, and that's why we cannot get so tied to it. We
Yes.
cannot be tied to it. We're in it. We're not of it, because we cannot always expect justice.
Come on.
I'm departing from
You
what
want it.
I want it.
You want it.
And I
you,
really
what you
thought
really
she was gonna
want.
give it
You
to
really
us.
want. All we really want is to be treated fairly like
Fairly,
everybody else.
fairly.
I don't need
Fairly.
you to give me a head start.
Thank
Just don't
you.
move the line when I
That-
start passing you.
Now there you go.
That's
it.
all. I don't need
That's
you to
it.
get. I don't need you to make my bail $5 million
Right.
because I stole a donut
Right.
and make hers 500.
Exactly.
No, make it fair across the board.
What's the scripture you
killed-
always say? The just wait.
Just wait. He got one.
Okay.
He got one.
Absolutely.
And and you kill a dog, you get 33 years. You kill a person, you get 10. Something is wrong with that.
Something real wrong.
And we got to have the conversation and
my.
begin to change it from the root. I don't know where you begin to change it. You change it on the federal level, then it trickles on down to every state and local government and all that. I don't know. But somebody out there does, and we need to start. And marching in the street ain't gonna get it. I'm sorry. It did it. That was what won it over in the 60s. That
Yes.
they telecast the marches, y'all tired, y'all holding signs, and y'all go home and the stuff is still the same. So it's not the march in the street. It's not the protest. They don't care. They laugh at us when we protest. Let me tell you what's gonna hit them. I told my sister today. Oh, y'all, I'm gonna help you.
Start that money.
Listen.
Hit that
That's
money.
all you gotta do. Let this
that
go
money.
viral.
Hit the
Let
money.
this go viral. I said let this go viral. This right here what I'm getting ready to say. If every single solitary African American say this is what I'm going to do, who owns a car, I am not going to fill my tank up with Shell gas. I just pulled Shell. Let's pick one.
Right.
Marathon.
Right.
One of the national ones. Right. We're gonna get gas because we need it, but we're not gonna get it from them. I guarantee you, in less than 30 days, the stock market just go plummet.
Right.
I guarantee you, you got to tag the money.
Right.
That's the only thing they understand.
That's right.
They understand the money. Okay, let's go this way. Everybody fly, every African American, we're not going to fly on American. We're going to fly on JetBlue or Southwest, United. It'll plummet.
Right.
All right, all us Walmart lovers. I'm a Walmart lover.
Yeah.
We gonna shop at Target. We ain't going to Walmart. We're not going to Walgreens. We're not going to Sam's Club. We're going to get us a Costco card. We're going to get us a BJ's card. We're going to do that. We're going to shop anywhere but Walmart. In 30 days, it'll change the
Yes.
dynamics of everything. Money is the root. The love of it is the root of all evil. And mammon rules America. Tag the money and you got everybody's attention.
Absolutely.
Y'all heard it here.
Absolutely.
Y'all heard it here. I got the solution. Now, do I got anybody on board? And I'm telling it before the world so everybody can hear it and see it. I got the solution because something has to happen. You cannot keep killing unarmed black people for no reason. First of all, you can't drive with a broken tail light.
Right.
You can't have a phone. You can't have an ink pen. You can't be sitting. You can't be walking. You can't be standing. You can't be jogging. Now,
Can't be
ladies and
barbecuing in the
gentlemen, you
park.
can't be barbecuing in the park. Ladies and gentlemen, now you can't be sitting in your house eating a bowl of ice cream.
Yes. 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 And that's sad.
It's horrific.
It's sad. And I have to determine even now, I tried to raise my boys to be men, to be independent, but my son has to be out at night catching the bus sometimes, and I'm terrified.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I am too. I got 3 of them.
Yeah.
I got 4 men
Right.
that leave out of my house every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
And I'm praying constantly.
Absolutely.
And I don't exhale until everybody is in the house.
Exactly.
That's the truth. When
Exactly.
my son that doesn't live with us, when I get a text, I exhale.
Right.
He's home.